The newest U.S. national park is a geological wonderland of jutting volcanic spires, cliffs, and peaks. The pinnacles are the remains of a former volcanic field, and visitors will find caves to explore more of the park's geological wonders. According to geologists, the unique rock formations of Pinnacles National Park originated some 23 million years ago in a volcanic region. Combine a visit here with a trip to nearby Big Sur, along the coast, marveling at California's astounding diversity of landscapes in close proximity. A mecca for rock climbing and day hiking, Pinnacles offers 32 miles of trails that climb among jumbled rock formations, through winding talus caves, and along shaded creeks. An anomaly of the park is that no road transects it. There is an east entrance and a west entrance, but to drive from one side to the other requires a 2-hour road trip. Don't miss the Balconies Cave Trail and the Bear Gulch Cave Trail. The California condor, a species of vulture with a 9.5 feet wingspan, was reintroduced to Pinnacles in 2003. This is the Great American Outback, a vast park containing the rawest, most rugged land in the lower 48 states. The 527 square mile park has been neatly carved into 3 districts: the Island in the Sky, the Maze, and the Needles by its primary engineers, the Green and Colorado Rivers. Less crowded than the Grand Canyon, Canyonlands offers a similarly stunning desert landscape ideal for hiking and exploring. You may recognize it as the backdrop for the final scene of Thelma and Louise. If you have only one day, do not miss the Island in the Sky. The area is closest to the town of Moab, so it's usually the first stop for visitors and a great place to get acclimated to the area. Crowding is more evident in colder months like April and May, and along easily accessible trails at popular scenic overlooks like Grand View Point. Along the main road, there are a handful of easy to moderate scenic trails to otherworldly needle formations and several scenic overlooks. At early hours, dozens of photographers wait patiently for sunlight to peek through the Mesa Arch, one of the park's most iconic landmarks. The Needles region of the park, which is quite a trek from Island of the Sky, is where avid adventurers seek out over 100 backcountry trails. Trails to incredible slot canyons, stunning red rock formations, and ancient petroglyphs draw backcountry visitors to this area every year. Some of the rock art in Horseshoe Canyon was painted 3,000 years ago. Named for the cacti that seemingly wave hello from the desert around Tucson, this national park is the perfect vision of the Great American West. Surrounding the city, one portion of the peak features ancient petroglyphs drawn by the Hohokam natives, found when you follow the Signal Hill Trail. The other portion provides a drive-through tour along Cactus Forest Drive's looped road. Best known for its symbolic saguaro cacti, you know, the ones with 2-pronged arms you see in all those John Wayne films? That's the saguaro. Summers are hot and winters comfortable, so the best time to visit, especially for hikers, is between October and April. Climb Valley View Overlook Trail off Bajada Loop to view the Avra Valley and distant mountain ranges. Fortunately, this 71,000-acre stretch of desert serves as their sanctuary. There are more than 165 miles of hiking trails, including part of a beloved National Scenic Trail, a large petroglyph site, a cactus garden, and of course epic desert sunsets are offered daily, free of charge. Despite the heat, over 1 million people spent time hiking in the Sonoran Desert in Saguaro National Park last year. There are no accommodations or facilities in the park, so most visitors stay in nearby Tucson. Don't forget to pack extra water. The park's signature giant saguaro cactus can reach up to 50 feet tall, 16,000 pounds, and live up to 250 years. Even though the saguaro is the emblem of the American desert, they are only found in small parts of the country. Formed over millennia, the unique features of Arches National Park astonish and delight its many visitors. Find yourself dwarfed amongst the giant archways and delicate rock formations that constantly change with the wind over time. This is the real Jurassic Park, a 300-million-old story written in stone of a time when coastal dunes and primeval inland sea deposited sediments that have since been uplifted, carved, eroded, and sourced by forces of nature. Landscape Arch, which also happens to be the most massive arch on the planet. Over 1.5 million people appreciate arches each year. The relative modest climate keeps the park running year-round, so you might find it hard to get some alone time with those sandstone monoliths. Delicate Arch at sunset might be the most famous image to photograph. Although the 76,519 acres of protected high desert terrain are entirely devoid of lodges and restaurants, accommodations are just 5 miles from the park entrance. If you're hoping to camp out beneath the stars, however, you want to plan ahead. The park's only campground, Devil's Garden, fills up fast. Arches contains the world's greatest density of natural sandstone arches, over 2,000 of them to be exact, plus pinnacles, fins, and giant balanced rocks. When Ebenezer Bryce moved to Utah, he discovered a crazy labyrinth of geological formations. The area, he memorably noted, would be a hell of a place to lose a cow. Created when water froze and thawed, eroding away at the rock, these magnificent pillars today comprise a national park bearing Bryce's name. The largest collection of hoodoos, the distinctive rock formations at Bryce, in the world. All-year park. Wildflowers peak in spring and early summer. The greatest variety of the park's 170 bird species appear between May and October. Winter lasts from November through March. Snow highlights the colored cliffs and provides fine cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. Bryce Canyon is one of the most breathtaking, beautiful sights that southern Utah has to offer. Each year, over 1 million people visit the Bryce Canyon National Park to take in the beauty and challenge themselves on hikes and other activities. With close to 36,000 acres to cover, there are endless possibilities for any adventure seeker to enjoy. Hiking, camping, and horseback riding are among the most popular within the area. Bryce Canyon National Park also provides many other activities like fishing, mountain biking, shooting ranges, and ATV trails. It's fun for the whole family. The famous Hoodoo Rock formation at Bryce Canyon are caused by constantly freezing and melting water. This park is named for the oddly shaped trees dotting its landscape, no two of which are the same. The park is located at the convergence of the Mojave and Colorado deserts and their unique landscapes. One is rocky, the other sandy. Both make for excellent hiking. As well as a wide variety of plants, the park is also home to a plethora of wildlife which have adapted and learned to survive in its desert landscape. You may come across black-tailed jackrabbits, scorpions, rattlesnakes, tarantula, coyotes, non-venomous snakes, bighorn sheep, lizards, kangaroo rats, and lynx, just to name a few. City dwellers are astounded when they get their first glimpse of the night sky in its natural state. Ethereal at both sunrise and sunset, this national park is one of the most magical in the US. Named after the unique trees scattered throughout the park, you'll remember your visit to Joshua Tree for the rest of your life. Whatever you do, bring a good camera, as you'll get some amazing pictures while you're here. These Joshua trees are actually a type of yucca and were named by Mormons in the 1850s, who saw their gnarled branches in the arms of Joshua pointing to the promised land. Now these trees make for some pretty epic sights and lend the park a distinctive feel that cannot be matched anywhere else. This truly is an otherworldly national park and has inspired many, including that U2 album your dad likes talking about. Zion National Park is so large and popular that visitors must park and take a shuttle to access it, so as not to create traffic. At its highest point, Zion is 8,726 feet, while at its lowest, it is 3,666 feet, with an underground spring emerging through the rock surfaces. One of the major sites along the Zion Canyon Scenic Drive is Weeping Rock. This dripping stone overhang offers a close-up look at the hanging gardens that cling to the otherwise sheer cliff wall. Depending on the season, the amount of water coming off the rock can be drips, a stream, or a full waterfall. Standing at the base of Weeping Rock, you get a different perspective of the valley and a real feel for the enormity of the canyon walls. Weeping Rock is stop number 6 on the Zion shuttle bus through the canyon. Alternatively, you can take a half-a-mile round-trip walk to reach it. Late spring or early fall is the best time to explore Zion. Zion is renowned as one of the world's best places for canyoneering, the sport of descending slender canyons. The national park invites adventurers to lower into fantastic watery slots and river-filled canyons that range from strenuous hiking and wading to technical challenges with swimming and rappelling. The Virgin River carries millions of tons of sediment to the Colorado River each year. Zion National Park could be called a heaven on earth, a red rock wonderland created by wind, water, and snow. Mormon pioneers arriving in the area in the 1860s were so overwhelmed by the natural beauty of Zion Canyon and its surroundings that they named it after the Old Testament name for the city of Jerusalem. Are you ready for one of the most breathtaking experiences of your life? Grand Canyon National Park is truly a treasure unlike anything else on Earth. A UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most iconic landmarks of the world. And it is a little wonder why. The 277-mile-long canyon, carved by the Colorado River, showcases millions of years of rock layers exposed to erosion. Grand Canyon National Park South Rim features the vast, expansive views most often seen on magazines and on TV. The best times to visit are March through May and September through November, when daytime temperatures are cool and the crowds are thin. If you decide to visit during the summer, the park's peak season, be prepared for hordes of tourists and very limited lodging availability. You can find deals on hotels during the winter, but much of the park, including the entire North Rim, closes after the first snowfall. The South Rim is open year-round. One of the most famous national parks, renowned around the world, it boasts a unique list of activities that all feel like bucket list items. At this park, visitors can enjoy a range of wild adventures, from helicopter rides offering aerial views to whitewater rafting tours at the bottom of the canyon, and from slow-moving donkey tours descending into the depths to steep ascending climbs on numerous hiking trails. If it's adventure, sightseeing, and history all rolled into one that you want on your Grand Canyon vacation, then Grand Canyon Railway is your answer. This is an unforgettable experience and will add much excitement to your vacation. The Grand Canyon Skywalk is a horseshoe-shaped walkway that extends almost 70 feet out over the canyon at the Hualapai-owned Grand Canyon West. Visitors on the Skywalk, which has a clear 4-inch thick glass bottom, peer over the railing or down through their stands to see the canyon and all of its 4,000 feet of vertical abyss. Experience the backcountry desert on and off the road near the Grand Canyon and nearby recreation areas such as Sedona, view scenic vistas, and the incredible variety of wildlife. Take a helicopter tour over the Grand Canyon for a unique and spectacular vantage of this vast, deep, natural wonder. The Hopi tribe considers the Grand Canyon a getaway to the afterlife. It has always placed great spiritual significance on the site. They believe that upon death, on his or her journey to the afterlife, a person passes westward through a place of emergence located upstream from the confluence of the Colorado and Little Colorado rivers in the canyon. Alright, not technically a national park, but it provides perhaps the most enduring and definitive images of the American West. Welcome to the Navajo Nation's Monument Valley Park. You are experiencing one of the most majestic and most photographed points on Earth. This great valley boasts sandstone masterpieces that tower at heights of 400 to 1,000 feet. Framed by scenic clouds, casting shadows that graciously roam the desert floor. The angle of the sun ascends these graceful formations, providing scenery that is simply spellbinding. The landscape overwhelms, not just by its beauty, but also by its size. The best time of the year to visit is during the spring and autumn months, when temperatures are pleasant. During the summer, it can be very hot. Plus, this is when the valley gets to be more crowded, as many people are here during their summer vacations. The fragile pinnacles of rock are surrounded by miles of mesas and buttes, shrubs and trees and wind-blown sand, all comprising the magnificent colors of the valley. All of this harmoniously combines to make Monument Valley a truly wondrous experience. Before human existence, the park was once a lowland basin. For hundreds of millions of years, materials that eroded from the early rock mountains deposited layer upon layer of sediment, which cemented a slow and gentle uplift generated by ceaseless pressure from below the surface, elevating these horizontal strata quite uniformly 1 to 3 miles above sea level. What was once a basin became a plateau. Natural forces of wind and water that eroded the land spent the last 50 million years cutting into and peeling away at the surface of the plateau. The simple wearing down of altering layers of soft and hard rock slowly revealed the natural wonders of Monument Valley today. From the visitor center, you see the world-famous panorama of the Mitten Buttes and Merrick Butte. You can also purchase guided tours from Navajo tour operators who take you down into the valley in jeeps for a narrated cruise through these mythical formations. Places such as Ear of the Wind and other landmarks can only be accessed via guided tours. During the summer months, the visitor center also features Haskineni Restaurant, which specializes in both native Navajo and American cuisines, and a film, snacks, souvenir shop. The isolated red mesas and buttes surrounded by empty sandy desert have been filmed and photographed countless times over the years for movies, adverts, and holiday brochures.